Don't worry, Grandma. It's fun to be dead.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Screenstars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2026 horror Lee Cronin's The Mummy. The film is written and directed by Lee Cronin, and it stars Jack Rayner, Leia Costa, May Calamway, Natalie Grace, Shiloh Molina and Billy Roy. Now the film focuses on the Cannon family. Now at the beginning of the film, they are working in Egypt. Well, the father is, Charlie Cannon. He's like a news reporter working in Egypt. And they've been there a number of months. And unfortunately, their young daughter, Katie, gets targeted by this woman who believes it's her purpose to protect everybody from like this curse, this demonic thing. So basically the daughter gets kidnapped. They don't find the daughter, and then it shifts forward 8 years. They are contacted out of the blue from Cairo, and they basically tell them that they found their daughter 8 years later. However, when they go to collect the daughter, she is horrifically traumatized. She is a shadow of her former self. It's going to take an awful lot of work to kind of get her to come out of herself. So they take her back home. However, as the days, weeks go on, it becomes clear that something incredibly horrific happened to their daughter in Egypt. And the mystery is slowly uncovered, and it may well be that she is a direct threat and danger to her own family and everybody else. Right, what are my thoughts on Lee Cronin's The Mummy? I've actually been looking forward to this one. When I saw the trailer for this several months ago, I thought it looked fresh and original, and it did look genuinely creepy at times. And then I went into this, and I've not watched. I don't think I've seen anybody's review of this on YouTube. I've kind of avoided them, but I've seen some like a bit of feedback, if you like, on the film, and it's some of it's positive, some of it's a bit middling, and some people are not that keen on it. I don't always think that's a bad thing. I think a film that can divide audiences sometimes, I think, just suggests that the film is, for a certain audience member, not for everybody. Might not be great for your box office, but at the end of the day, not every film is made for everybody, is it? I have to say, I quite like this. It isn't really a mummy film, though. And I think that's a criticism a lot of people have thrown at it. It's more of a possession film than a mummy film. But it does, tries to do something different, if you like, with the genre, the whole mummy genre. I don't think any of us wanted to see a rehashing of the kind of mummy films we've seen before. We all know that Brendan Fraser and everybody's coming back to do another mummy type film, like the adventure version of it. The Tom Cruise version the other few years ago was pretty poor, and didn't do very well. So I think if you're going to kind of stray away from the typical type of storytelling when it comes to this kind of mummy tale, I think they kind of made the right choices here. It is very good at times. It is very creepy at times. It is at times pretty grotesque as well. And it does kind of keep you on the edge of your seat, because there's kind of two things going on here. You've got the whole, parents taking the child back to the US to try and nurse her back to health, having obviously no idea of what she's been through and what actually is going on with her. And then you've got another side of the film where there's there's like a police officer in Cairo that is trying to unravel the mystery of what happened to Katie. And when the two collide, if you like, when we learn what actually happened for Katie in those 8 years, and what she's been through, and what ultimately is wrong with her, that's when when those two stories meet, the film kind of then, I suppose, really goes into overdrive. You know, the curtain is lifted, and it goes full possession film, really, at that point. You know, the mystery and the Egypt and the Cairo thing and the mummy thing is all kind of done, and then the whole, you know, possession type of the film comes out. And I didn't mind that because, number one, I like possession films, you know, and number two, I'm glad that they did something different with like the whole mummy premise. You know, focusing it on a child and the trauma that this child has been through for 8 years, I think adds a little bit of something extra to the film. You know, if they'd have just dug up, you know, a tomb with like an ancient baddie in it sort of thing, it's just what we've seen before, isn't it? So many times. I thought the performances here were all very, very good as well. I thought the whole family dynamic and stuff worked. I thought Natalie Grace, who plays Katie, is very good in the film. Genuinely some creepy moments from her. And I thought the effects overall here were of a very, very strong standard. So I thought it was one of those like cinema horrors that was, you know, nicely glossed up and strong production values, and lots of kind of high octane moments in it for a horror film. Some moments that I think will genuinely like unnerve some people. I think some people have kind of pointed a finger at it and said it's grotesque sometimes for no reason, or it goes over the top, and I'm like, have you seen Terrifier? I didn't have a problem with any of that sort of thing. It just kind of made you wince a little bit more at what you were seeing at the screen. So there's body horror elements here as well, you know what I mean? It's kind of going all angles here. So I think Lee Cronin is definitely on the rise. I mean, I don't know if he thinks he's the next John Carpenter putting his name in the title. I mean, he's only really done of note like Evil Dead Rise, which was obviously a very good film. We all, you know, Evil Dead fans even liked it. But, you know, there's a lot of potential here with this director. Let's see what else he can come up with, and see if he can kind of, you know, turn out to be one of those writer-directors that can really deliver. I think so far he is delivering, but you also feel like there's more to give from this guy, from this director. But if you know, I think if you're looking for a mummy film with a little bit of originality in here, and you don't mind the fact that in actual fact it's mixing two genres like possession and mummy films, I think you'll have quite a bit of fun with this one. I did. I mean, you know, I don't think it was massively memorable or anything like that, but I had a good time watching it. So that's my thoughts on Lee Cronin's The Mummy. Let me know your thoughts if you've seen the film. And I will, of course, be back with plenty more content on the channel very, very soon.